Hi guys, my name is Memo. I'm a professional illustrator represented by Advocate Art. I've been working since 2017 with many clients like Disney, Hachette, D&D, Lucky Charms, and many others. Welcome to the first in my series of speedy art classes, where I share art insight and advice in less than 10 minutes. Today I'm talking about portfolio development, and specifically kids-lit illustration. I'm not talking about how to package it, where to share it, who to send it to, only what to put into it. So if you're interested about any of the above, please do let me know in the comments and I shall provide with some more content. In this video, I'm going to give you the 5 best tips that I've collected over the years through clients, editors, agents, and that have helped me land my dream jobs. At the end, I'll share the most important tip as a bonus, but more on that at the end of the video. Tip number 1. Plan your folio around the theme, and if you hold anything dear, please do structure it before you start creating the art for it. Yes, I mean, sit down and decide whether you're going to be creating some art specifically for this folio, or you're going to be using existing projects that have been published or that are personal. You're going to have to figure out exactly which order they're going to be featured and how many pages they are going to take. This way you can be sure that you're not going to put too much of the same content all in a row, and you're going to avoid fluff and keep your folio looking consistent. Tip number 2, keep it short and sweet. You might think that bigger is better, but in this case, less is indeed more. Whoever is going to receive your folio doesn't have time to look at all the art that you're emotionally attached to and therefore didn't want to drop. You need to be really ruthless and cut anything that doesn't get a wholehearted yes from yourself and the people you trust. I don't think a folio should be longer than 30 pages, and personally, it would be best if it sat around 20. Start with your best and end with your best. People will get bored in the middle anyway. You might even hire a mentor or attend a portfolio review so that a professional can give their opinion on the flow and content of your folio. Tip number 3, check out popular TV series, movies, and other media to get inspiration for the theme of your pieces. If you're unsure what's trending with the kids, you can just check the top 10 list on Netflix. There are, of course, some topics that are always popular with editors, like friendship, empowerment, magic, sport, music. You really can't go wrong with those. Or you might use some classic stories, like classical fairy tales, that are popular because of their widespread appeal and universal messages. In one of my early folios, for example, I took the well-known story of the Pied Piper and modernized it a little bit so that the kids actually teamed up with the piper, learned how to play modern instruments like guitars and keyboards and stuff like that, and befriended all the rats and played a gig at the end. Classic fairy tales and modern adaptations are always a good choice for your folio, but if you're looking for more current ones, again, just check out Netflix or Disney Plus or Prime Video. You get the idea. Tip number 4. If you're stuck choosing your palettes, especially for the covers, just head down to your local bookstore and take a picture of the kids and teens best-selling books. Then you can go on to Procreate or any free palette generator and pick the colors from the image. So here I'm using Coolors, which is literally just the first option that came up when I googled it, and you can upload the image, increase the amounts of colors that are going to be sampled for the palette, and you can even switch over and play around with whichever palette you think suits the picture best. Otherwise, you can go on to Procreate and tap on the palette tab, then tap again on create new palette from photo and upload your photo, and this way it will create a palette specifically from the amalgamation of all those colors. This will give you a pretty good idea of what the trends are in terms of shades. When you have it, you can choose whether you want to go with it or choose something completely different in order to stand out from the rest. Tip number 5. There are so many different subcategories in the kids lit market. There are picture books, chapter books, graphic novels, activity books, sticker books, the list goes on. So I think it's great to show flexibility if you have it, or to work towards more flexibility if you don't have it. There is a lot of work in copy art, which is basically when you work for something like Disney and you have to stick to a very specific style and draw the characters exactly like that. So this is called staying on model, and it's a definite skill which can get you work with licensing. However, do be careful of showing too much flexibility because your folio might come across as a bit unfocused. So if you're looking to establish yourself more for your own specific style as a brand or household name, then it might be best to show variety in terms of content, but always have your unique style shine through some core elements of each image. When I talk about content versatility, I mean to try and showcase a variety of different crops and types of art that you might find in any book. For example, in this book that I created for Lucky Charms in 2021, you can see there's a variety of different types of art that make up the book. There is of course a cover, which in this case wraps up the entirety of the book, but it's not always the case. Then you have a full page art, you have chapter headers, you have maps, you have character vignettes. Do include some black and white art as well, because the internals of a lot of middle grade books don't actually get printed in full color. So it's nice for clients to see that you can work with a grayscale as well. Finally, are you ready for the most important bit of advice, not just when creating your portfolio, but when undertaking any type of creative venture? Figure out your goal and target. Who are you talking to? What kind of books do you want to make? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Before you start making your folio, it's important that you know the answer to all these questions, because it doesn't matter if your art is fantastic, if it ends up in front of the wrong editor or publisher. Do your research, find out exactly what kind of jobs you want to land, and then you can create the folio that showcases the expertise in that specific field. If you have a folio or the beginning of one and you feel a little bit lost, a little bit unsure, you want someone to look over it or even to help you build it, you can now book a one-on-one session with me through SuperPeer. The link is below. I will look at your folio in advance, so during our 1 hour session, my attention will be focused on you 100% to help you develop your portfolio's flow or content and eventually help you land your art dream job. I hope to see you soon, either in another video or during a live session. Bye!